Okay, hello everybody. It's again new stream today, and continue this series about drawing Akira. So today it's on this chapter where is all this apocalypse in Tokyo. Let me, I will share link. Give me a second. Just put a link to stream to my groups. Yeah, so also I remind I making donations system for this live videos. It's your donation will go to our charity. It's Help UA. You can go to website. This money is for humanitarian support. It's city Chernihiv in Ukraine, and right now there have many people who like hiding underground or like stay home because it's like old people, like immobile for some reason, so they don't have food, and because it's no any supply. So we have volunteers there. It's about 20 people. They have cars, and they every day, like every week, they bring some packages with food to people so they can survive. So let's start. Okay, so here, let's say make a big one for beginning. So here we can see this another bird view in, from Katsuhiro Otomo. And here what I want to remind you again is like a very good example of this smart approach Katsuhiro Otomo do. So it's not only about perspective and drawing like photorealistic for some percent, right? It's about this usage of texture, about this usage of three values. So here you can see how can I use mouse? No, cannot see mouse. Okay, so here you actually should recognize, it's important skill to recognize here inside all these lines and details. You should recognize these three major spots. These three major like spots, which is also like three values, is like, you know, like light, gray and dark, light and gray and black, or like this. So it's also this light, gray and dark, it's also about density. So we have like nothing, area with nothing in it. We have area with middle density and area with a high density of details. You know what I mean. So here we can see this like a diagonal area in the middle. It's like a high density area. So it's like if you kind of squint, right? Squint. Yeah, you will like just ignore its like informational kind of thing. Just look at it as shapes, as design. What kind of yeah, look at it as like it's just like amount of lines. So we have like in this middle area, in this like middle diagonal spot here, we have this high density of lines. It's like many lines. And on the left low corner we have like a middle kind of density of lines, and in the up right corner we don't have any lines at all, right? So we have these three zones, which like kind of like light, middle, and dark. So you see, it's like how this universal, this rules. Так. So let me show you now. I will put it back on the left. So here, okay. So let's here in this frame, and you see what I mean. We have like this. It's like this two-dimensional shape composition of shape. So we have this like a gradient kind of, right? So this in the middle is like a high density or dark value. In here it's like a middle density, light, no, gray, like kind of gray. So it's like if we have like a gradient here, it will be something like this. So this what we're dealing with. We have this 1, 2, 3, or light, middle, dark. So this is very important tool, a technique Otomo used in his work. And then inside this major thing he put all these details, considering these three major groups, consider this like core composition. Так, wait a second. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so let's make like a plan, like a conceptual map of this particular picture, and it's also like represent a lot of pictures by Otomo. So we have, let's say, we have like perspective. We have, let's say, three value. And so in perspective here, we have a grid. Perspective grid. I will show you now what kind of here. So it's like, yeah, here it's like 3 vanishing point. Perspective grid. And 3 value. So we have this 3 value is like 3 shapes. It's like 2D, 3 two-dimensional shapes. Then this 3 two-dimensional shapes includes the kind of inside it have patterns. And like okay, let's say like this 3-dimensional shapes, they have 3 different value because of texture of these patterns, right? So let's say like, and they all based on a line density. So yes, I say here like middle, a lot of lines, and like no lines at all. Okay, and other thing also, it's like something like how to say, like rhythms, rhyme, rhythm, you know. So because all these things, when you do perspective, when you do 3 values, so 3 shapes with the line density, you also consider these rhythms, you know. It's like, I don't know, like kind of like this something, you know, like for example, this is my favorite like simplification of this idea of lines rhyme. So it's like when you draw in lines, you don't do like this, you know, like this. It's close. It's not dynamic. It's a dead. It's or you don't do like this. It's boring. It's very cool when you do line like that. Like one line goes there, and then it like meets other line, kind of this, in somewhere about like a golden cut area. So it's like not middle, not end. It's like about third. Then this line also go to other line, which is also like continuous to other line. So it's like each line pointing towards other line. So and this you can play with that a lot. It's some certain like mosaic, and also it's like this like musical rhythm thing. So avoid this and prefer this. Everything, every line, every spot, every color on your picture always should have some continuity, some relationship, like in the particulars and all together in general. And we can see here how Otomo also doing such things. He like making this intersection in intertwine with this like rhythms. It's something like drums with like more small details or big details, but they all kind of continue and follow in pointing next each other. So it's making this kind of rhythm, you know. Okay, so this three things: perspective, three value, and rhythm. So now we'll draw in on a picture. So let's see. Так. Let me do like that. Oops. If you have any question or something more, more descriptive about this, if you want me to tell more descriptive, write me in the chat. Так, okay, I will just draw a frame. Also, I will very appreciate if you donate. This all donations go to charity, and every dollar is very good help. Okay, so let's here do as usual. Now we show y-axis, something like this. So because we see on the picture we have this vertical lines with a tapering and something like that. So then I add in between, like my tutorial about drawing perspective grids. So this is y-axis. Then we have z and x, and they kind of here they similar. We can see this 55. You see this 55 billboard on a roof. We have this like two axes, z and x. So it's like perfect example of this situation with perspective grid here in this picture. Так, so let's sort of like 45 angle. Так. I did it a little wrong. Okay. Like this. So, oops. This looks very messy. It's okay. For me it works. So verticals and 45 for this x and z. And then, like as I showed you before, just put here will be middle amount of details, here a lot of details in the middle. Так, so let's see. Так. First I will make it more like outline. So see, we just follow and grid. And again, it's like when you do a bunch of time, when you repeat this a couple of times, then you totally lost this fear of drawing some complicated in perspective. You can see how much it's simpler when you're using grids. And kind of these things, it's important. It's like when this happen, when you find that now it's easy to do, like easier than ever before, and like you don't have this stress with that anymore, then it just means now your brain have more free resources for more complex task. And this how it works. This how you improve as artists, how you start to like grow complexity of you, and like get to higher quality of your work. Because when this like basic things don't need anymore a lot of your resources, your thinking, then you just start to more thinking about like some other composition details, maybe about some like atmosphere in your work, and you kind of can focus on some more fine elements or like striking fine kind of things, you know. But when your basic technique is not fluent yet, when is this like kind of stiffness, then you just can't jump over your head and do something too fancy, you know. It will like let's see, it will be like end up to be broken and not solid, kind of, you know. Okay, anyway, so here we have this like left side, which is like, again, a reminder, represent like middle amount of line density and also like middle value, like a kind of gray. And then here I will show this will be like a big amount of details in this area. And then, like when we establish kind of this composition, when we know this core elements, core compositional elements, like we know where's like this three shapes, three groups, then now we can also look inside this middle group and break it on the elements inside this group. So what do we have inside this group? Inside this middle group we have tall buildings, which is like kind of closer to us, like on the middle plane, and we have like this range of small buildings on a far plane. They're like this like very tiny with all these particles. So let me first it's just again it's for educational kind of purpose. I indicate first this 3 areas, so it will be more clear. So you see, so this will be our middle area with this a lot of lines and a lot of details. Так. So what we have here? We have here is the closest roof to us with this 55 billboard here on this roof. Yeah, also we know we're doing now in Taiwan, we're doing a lot of events to support Ukraine. It's some, like yesterday for example, we been in a university, make some talks about situation, about kind of history before this war, why this happened, what kind of let's say, like what was leading to this war, and there's all this like political situation. So it was like 3 professors, and they was talk, give some very interesting brief, and then we was in a university kind of park, give our own angle to it. Like it was some speakers from Ukraine, some speakers from like European countries like Lithuania, Poland, and so we was like share what how it relates to us, because some people have friends or family in Ukraine. Like one of our activists, her parents actually there in this battle field, kind of in a city which is in Kharkov. So there is all these bombings and stuff, and she lost contact with them. She cannot call them already like 3 weeks. So she have no idea what was her parents, like their life, or like is they okay or not. So it's crazy. Yeah, and every day we have a rally near a Russian kind of embassy. With Taiwan don't have embassy, but it's like representative office with some Russian officials work, and we like there every day have protests. And also we're doing like a charity events. Like was last week was like auction where I sell on this auction one of my picture, which is also like my sketch of a protest in Taipei. So also all this money goes to charity, to Chernigiv, to this charity, to buy food and medication. Так. So here you can see I first and draw this to this kind of like bigger shapes, bigger forms, these buildings. And then I will fill the rest with more small, on a kind of more distant buildings. Так. So in this, why I spent so much time to explain this is like core thing here is this like details, density, and composition of this areas of density. It's core thing. It's more important than all these details themselves. It's like it's not difficult to draw windows after all, right? But it's important to create this like impact and let's see. Impact and no, like realistic kind of view. Так. So then we have, okay, inside this area, again, this kind of also, yeah, it's important also think, is because this three value rule, this three value rule is actually, it's a branch of a snowman rule. It's called snowman rule. Так. So let's see, we have snowman, right? So what does it mean? It's mean like we have small, middle, and big part of composition. So the small, middle, big, it can be also like a light, middle, and dark, and you can play with that. You can, because you can make like big. This you can first. Okay, let's say small. You can make dark. Big, you can make middle value, and then middle size of shape will be light. So these three elements of composition is like a fractal. It's kind of fractal composition, you know. So it can be like about size, about value, about opacity, about saturation. All this goes this way. So, and it's also, it's kind of like fractal in all directions. So if we have here, let's say we have this 1/3 of composition, this dark area, right? And this inside also can include snowman inside, also can have three things, three elements inside, which is, as I drawing right now, is this like three kind of proportion, three size, three scale of building. So we have like very big one, right? Like this big, and we have like a middle one, which here's like kind of this buildings, right? You see? So this kind of, this is why I call this video breakdown, because this really gives you this breakthrough to real understanding, not just this like mindless copying and stuff. So we have like this big building size, we have middle size, and then we have here like very, very small ones, which is like a lot, like, you know, like this, like scattering around all these details, and all of them kind of creating this see a similar value here, because big building also have a lot of line density. They have these details, you see? So they all together kind of creating this similar value with like kind of comparable. It's very dark here. It's not completely black, but it's like darkest area on this composition. So you see, again, have three kind of size of building, like this, and like this. Big, middle, small, inside this one. Так. So, yeah, let me zoom you also you can see. You see? Big middle buildings there with all these readable details, like readable windows and stuff, and very small, very small. You see? This is what I mean. So this is fractal composition rule. Snowman fractal. Так. And all this snap to perspective grid, and when you work with this, you consider density of lines. So it's kind of, all this is like a juggling, you know. It's like creativity is sort of reminding juggling, because like you have many tools, many rules, many techniques, and you doing all them simultaneously. You draw in detail, but you keep whole in your mind. You never lost your kind of whole picture. You always, every detail, it's element of the whole. It's never just kind of dependent on itself. Так. Yeah, and here you can see I rotating these buildings, this small one. Here's like a road. So rotating buildings, like turning lines, as I mentioned, to making a rhythm. Так. It's crazy also to draw something like this right now, but honestly I just don't know what to draw. No, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look like some sci-fi anymore, but it's also interesting how in Japan people keep school digesting kind of, or like uh, to understand their it's maybe it's everywhere like this, and just now it's just I start to understand maybe only this thing how all this works in the world, like when it's not just in the news, when it's like really happen here with people, with this real, in your real life, and you kind of see this like such things was always happening somewhere with somebody, all these wars and destruction. It's crazy to see how people finding way how to justify it. Like I'm talking about this, like people in Russia, this Russian propaganda, these people who just like I don't know, lost their minds in belief, like to begin a war with Ukraine have any sense or reason, when it seems absolutely like kind of obvious for any adequate people. I believe it's like should be obvious, but it's crazy how it's not obvious for many of people. So just like watching probably all this nonsense point of view, all this news or something. And and now like I can see like people reactions, and I watch like all this like popular people, like how they react, what is their position about war in Ukraine, like about what is their attitude to it, like opinion and stuff. And like when people don't say anything, it's already something, because some people like like very public figures who always have their opinion and their it's like this kind of very fundamental event right now of this war. This is like insane. It's not something you can say it's just some like local conflict or local disaster. I think it's really like planetary scale disaster, and like people who is in this like high school, like who's everywhere, you know, who's like talking about every major event, like gives their direction, perspective to it. And some of them say nothing right now. I find it's very weird. Like, for example, like I'm talking like Jordan Peterson, for example. I don't know, he was like kind of talking always about his interest about Russia history and all this stuff. And now with the Russia invasion, I don't see he say anything about it. It's so crazy. It's like he... Why? I mean, it seems like he not against this invasion. I see only one reason why he don't speak. It's because he like find it like appropriate or something like that. It's weird. It's very weird because I thought he like kind of should to state something about this. Even like Arnold Schwarzenegger was still about this. Make video to Russian fans and stuff to say like they should fight against this war. And Beckham, like, you know, it's very interesting. Give his Instagram to a doctor from Ukraine. But Peterson don't say anything. That's weird. That's really strange. For me, I'm disappointed. Because I have his book, like a map of meanings. I still try to read it actually. It's a little, let's say, it's a little many water inside there. I don't know how to say. It's like a little hard to read because too many words. But I like the subject and I watch him before his lectures. It's just interesting about this Carl Jung things in pop culture, you know, like Lion King and stuff. Now I'm more, of course, interested with Joseph Campbell. He's like super informative. And also, right now I just begin reading book called Zen, about maintaining motorcycle. Oh, here I lost this. Okay, like that. Yeah, so you see, I kind of put these things here, and now it's not, it's kind of uncertain. You see, we have this and this, they're kind of similar, but I want really this area to be like different from this area, like in a picture, on a reference. So I just will draw more amount of lines, like with all these details. And just so this is how I will unite this area here by giving it same amount of lines. Так. I mean, in the source, of course, you can see it's not like exactly same. Of course, it always have this kind of variety. It's like a little darker, a little lighter, but in general. Let's have like overall general amount of lines, kind of. Так. There's 55 as a bank. Okay. Anyway, I don't make it too much in detail either, because it's also like demo. Just in demo. So here's some of these particles. So you see how it works. So with these tools you can work, you can make same kind of thing. This is how you learn tricks for other artists, by breaking down, by understand their vocabulary, their toolbox. Also, I don't know, you can call it like orchestra, like you know what kind of instruments they have in, you can distinct them, you can hear how they play and stuff like that. So it's like then you are organizing them, harmonizing, and etc. Так. So some here details. Так. Okay, so for today I think just this like one breakdown, and so thank you for watching. Like I was just like wanted this time to explain again this idea of Katsuhiro Otomo approach, like how he simultaneously making like design and perspective. Similar like here you can see also, right? You can see this like low details amount and like middle and the dark, small dark parts here. Like here's like a dark, it's just value for river. Middle, it's like this texture details for line density kind of. And a light, it's for this road and front, like a what's called like fuselage or helicopter on the front. And everywhere he applying this snowman rule. Everywhere is kind of also in general rule for any manga. So now you will see it, and now you must to consider it also. You see, big density, low density. Come back here. Okay, that's kind of result. So thank you everybody for watching. See you next video. Write something in the comments to this video, share, and yeah, you can write your let's say your ideas, suggestions, requests for next tutorials or next videos. Thank you. Bye bye.